Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Maggie. So when I saw this small dresser on Marketplace, I instantly fell in love with the square handles. I also knew that I wanted to remove the base and replace it with taller legs to get it up higher and to make it look more modern. I also needed a quick and easy project to do this week because last week was a lot of work on the nightstands. If you haven't seen that video, I will try and post a link. Up in this corner here will be a link if I can figure that out. So let's get started. I start out every project pretty much the same. I clean it, then remove the hardware and sand it or remove the finish, whether that be sanding or using a stripper. It was pretty chilly the day that I started this dresser, and when I'm sanding I have to put a mask on. And because I wear glasses, my glasses kept fogging up the whole time I was trying to sand, so I couldn't see where I was sanding, so I had to keep pulling my mask down, and then I had to stop halfway through to let my glasses defog. Anyway, it was a little challenging to sand outside when it was cold out, but I managed to get it done. And so I did a scuff sand on all of the drawers and the whole dresser. When I scuff sand, I typically use 120 grit sandpaper. I have used 220, I think, in the past, and it doesn't get near as much adhesion, obviously, because it's too smooth, so you want to use something a little rougher like 100 or 120. These beautiful square handles got some new finish, which I will talk about later in the video. The feet on this dresser were adjustable plastic feet, so I took those off and I might be able to use them for a future project. I'm not sure, but I saved them anyways. And then I just removed the brackets from the skirting around the bottom and took off the base. I haven't figured out how to take the plastic parts off of the bottom in order to use the feet, but maybe I will figure that out one day. And now I'm just going to measure and cut a piece of wood to go on the bottom. This will help me attach the new legs and also make the bottom a little sturdier. I don't feel like this dresser was made to last. It wasn't put together, in my opinion, very strongly. It just had some staples holding each of the corners together. Adding a piece of wood to the base will not only help me have something to screw the legs into, but I'm hoping that it will kind of give it a little more weight to the base. I'm also going to add screws, which you will see here in a minute, to the rest of the dresser. Here's where I'm adding some recessed holes on the sides. This will give the dresser, like the squareness of the dresser, more stability. Just the little staples that were holding it together, I'm actually surprised that it lasted this long. So if I put 3 screws at the top and the bottom on both sides, that will be more than enough strength to hold it together for a long time, hopefully. Now I'm just adding some wood filler to fill in some of the join areas and the gaps. There's a bit of a gap between the bottom board and the base, so I'm just going to fill that in. So to cover up the screw holes, I just insert a dowel of the correct size with some glue, and I tap it in with a hammer, and then I just use my little saw to cut the end off, and then I sand it after to make it flush. You can buy the little wooden plugs, but this is just way easier and probably cheaper. Then I was just messing around and painted the fronts of the drawers. I really wanted to try doing the linen, faux linen effect, but after I painted the drawer fronts, I realized that I did not have the color that I really wanted to use, and also you have to use, well, you don't have to, but you should use like Floetrol or something, or some kind of paint extender that will act like a glaze so that you can use the tools to drag across the paint. Anyway, there's like a whole bunch of videos on it. You can go check that out if you want. I did end up trying it on one of the drawers, and it didn't turn out because I didn't have the proper Floetrol stuff. This is what it looked like when it was done. Now I'm just sanding all the wood filler. A couple of the drawer tracks were not in the best of shape and they were falling off. So I just popped them off and I'm going to cut new ones. I sanded the new slides and turned the dresser on the sides so that it would be easier to install them. I lined them up and marked them, and then I added some wood glue and I tacked them in place with my brad nailer. The new drawer slides made the drawers stick a little, so I sanded them down, and once I added the wax to the slides, they were sliding a lot better. Now I'm just fixing the other side of the drawer slides with my brad nailer. I'm just adding a couple extra brad nails. One of them was pulling off a little bit, and I think I added a little bit of glue underneath before I put the brad nails in too. This was the paint that I chose to put on the first time, and it's like a dark grayish blue color, and I didn't like it, so I ended up painting over this color. I'm spraying it down with some water, and then I'm painting right over top. This is Dixie Belle silk all-in-one paint called Hampton Olive. Now I'm sanding off all of the paint that I did because, you know, I didn't like it, and my mom actually brought up a good point that it would look really nice with a wood grain. I just wasn't sure if I would be able to do that with these drawers because it's particle board on the drawer fronts. So I just sanded really carefully as best as I could, and thankfully the veneer on the fronts of the drawers is a pretty thick veneer, so I didn't blow through it at all. I've changed my mind so many times with this project. This seems to be like a going theme with me lately. But I first painted these knobs with a copper, and now I changed my mind again because I found some really cool legs on Amazon, and I wanted to have the handles match a little bit. They won't be an exact match, but they'll be very close. The wood grain looks really nice on these drawers. So I'm just adding a little chamfer with my little tiny little planer that I have that I use to just take the very corner edge off of the fronts. And then I'll sand them down to make them nice and smooth. And now I'm doing a paint wash. This is fast becoming my favorite way to finish wood, using the paint wash and then doing a stain over top. I do about a 50-50 ratio of paint to water. Then I just brush it on in the direction of the wood grain, and then I wipe it off in the direction of the wood grain. Sometimes I will let it soak into the wood a little bit before I wipe it off, like maybe 5 minutes or so. It depends how much of the paint I want on the surface. And then I'm taking some wood glue to fix the end of one of the drawers, or the back part of a drawer, and I'll just inject it in there with my glue syringe, and then I'll put a clamp on it and let it dry. Using my handy dandy brad nailer, I am adding some more brad nails to reinforce the bottom parts of the drawers. Now I'm going to rub in some stain. Fusion makes a penetrating oil stain. I love this stain. It works awesome. I don't ever get any kind of streakiness or anything. I'm just rubbing it right on top of the paint wash, and then I'm going to wipe it back with a dry microfiber cloth. And I do the same thing to all three drawers, and I don't have to apply any kind of top coat because this stain has a top coat built in. Now I'm going to add a poly top coat on all of the painted surfaces. I'm using a large deck staining brush that I found at Home Depot. It's very soft bristles, and it covers a large area, and it's great for doing a top coat. I am using a pizza box to pour the poly onto, because this brush is so big it obviously is not going to fit in the can. So I just pour some onto this pizza box, and then I can dip my brush in it from there. You want to do long, even strokes right from one end to the other end so that you don't have any stopping in between, because that will most likely show once it's dry. After each coat, I will do a wet sanding with 400 grit sandpaper, and then after the final coat I won't sand at all, and it should be super smooth. Then I'll just use a small artist brush to get the front edges. I use the bigger brush for the sides as well. Since it's a large flat surface, then I can use the large brush. These are the legs that I found on Amazon. I can leave a link in the description below. These are 7-inch legs. I wanted to get the tallest ones I could because this dresser is really low. I wanted to bring it up as high as I could. So I'm just going to attach these legs. Just marking the holes where the screws need to go. I'm going to drill pilot holes first so that I don't split the wood. This project is almost complete. All that's left to do is add some Howard's feed-in wax to the inside of the drawers. I also put it on the sides of the drawers where it slides on the drawer slides on the inside. And I also add it to the drawer fronts as well. Then the last thing to do is add the knobs back on and get it ready for staging and taking pictures. Max. Okay, well, this video is done and this dresser is done. You know, I can't really call it a dresser. It's so short and it's petite. I think maybe it would do better in a dining room, maybe, or even in your living room, just to hold knickknacks or I don't know, whatever you want. One thing I just want to point out, when I went to put the drawers in, they're not lining up like they did. I don't know if I did something to make them not line up, but this drawer right here is like sticking on this side. Maybe when I put the bottom drawer slide in, I didn't put it in the right spot. I'm not really sure, but so that I will definitely still have to fix. I may have to rip off both of the drawer slides at the bottom and put them in the right spot. Other than that, it's done and I like it. I think it turned out really good. And this is Max, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cool and I love the color. Like green is one of my favorite colors, so I think it goes really good with the paint wash and then doing the stain over top, and I really like that. So anyway, that's it for this video, and thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for all of my subscribers, and I'm eternally grateful. My goal, like on my bucket list, was to get 1,000 subscribers, and I've done it, so yay. Everything else from here on out is just gravy in my opinion, and still amazing, but you know, I just really wanted the 1,000 subscribers, so I'm super happy about that. And for the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, and yeah, I hope you stick around, and I have like lots more stuff coming up, so yeah, I don't know, I'm like squishing Max's face while I'm talking. There you go, buddy, you get some good face rubs, hey? Yeah, oh, you look so sleepy. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. See you next time. See, buddy? You gonna hang out a bit longer? I know you just want more and more scratches. Oh, yeah, scratchy, scratchy, scratch. Okay, there you go. And don't stop. Okay, I gotta get up, buddy. I'm done. I know, but I know you want more, but come on. There you go, Mr. Pushy. doing something to make noise when I'm trying to make a video. And here we go. Hi everyone.